What that enables you to do from a corporate perspective is to pinpoint what your financials are. That's the advantage of doing it that way. You can have those shares, yeah, but they're traded separately. So GME stock is a Class E stock. You may have, you create your same ones for Hilton or from any other corporation. I didn't invent it, but whenever it comes to consulting and telling you why you want to do that, it'll allow you to look at those expenses. The same thing is true, say, for the Trump organization or for any organization that owns multiple shares or multiple companies, and they're like a conglomerate. Like Marriott would be another, a Renaissance is another. I mean, there's different ones. Right, Sheraton. I mean, you got Choice Hotels. Those are some of those ones, and the reason why you would do it that way. Now, when it comes into franchise operations and things of that nature, yeah, you want to separate those out, and that's where I was saying that why American Express, and I know MasterCard's working on some things, American Express, but their corporate reporting structure actually allows that. And so when you're doing reviews and things from a hospitality standpoint, you're able to pinpoint we have an issue here. Here's where we want to go place some attention. It may be that you send your corporate trainers in there. And because, when you promote the best and then you allow them to do their job, then you're going to get good results. And, when it comes to actually having a conversation with people, from the interview process, sometimes, and in my feeling, a lot of times, whether or not you get along with somebody can be determined not necessarily by their resume. That's how they weed people out, that they don't want to do your job. That's why I believe in corporations holding on to their personnel management, because the individuals that are in there, you develop those relationships, and they, basically, well, it's like offshore or outsource those positions. They did the same thing in some of the medical fields. So your insurance, like electronic data systems, was self-insured up to a certain point. But that's what allowed the healthcare to go. It's like the Wild West in healthcare. You have to be very specific when you're in a hospital as to what procedures are, and you can have a treatment and say, hey, and that's where a Kaiser and some of those HMO or PBOs, where they come in, because you may have one sickness or illness, and it's covered in this. You could do group packaging there, and say this is what it is. So no matter what needs to be done, this is what we're going to do, and here's your payment for this. So we have to look at some of those things a little bit more closely, especially with the new incoming where the Affordable Health Care Act applied for that. But and that's the thing is, Hillary and some of her staff members have done tremendous amounts of research. So I applaud them for helping to get some of these healthcare, people that didn't have healthcare, to get them healthcare, because more people have healthcare now than ever. So you need to look at the expenditures and say, listen, this is what it needs to be. Because where I was seeing where cost actualization factor is, I own the MRI machine. I'm self-insured. I know what it's going to cost me. The same thing with plasma or with, an x-ray, how long it takes, the personnel involved that it takes to do that. One hospital, I had one person. Another hospital, I had three. So those are the things you look at. When you go into an emergency room, do you need the trauma room, or can any old room work? I mean, I could do the examination right here in a plain Jane without any equipment room. And so those are the things that you have to look at.